Thank you. Welcome all of you. We'll just begin with the Kirtan now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody together. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. So welcome all of you for the BA Perfect Yogi course. Today we are in the last session. I was in the airport and I could not do full justice to the session, and we could do only a short part of the course. So now we will show you the PowerPoint again in case some of you had difficulty to capture the sound at that time. Now you will see it properly now. I will share the PowerPoint with you. This is the one. It was a 6th session. Almighty serves his devotee out of love. So I had begin with the revision, as you see here. You can see. As you see here, quickly we will see a couple of slides revision and then we proceed further, okay? See, Yudhishthira heading the Pandavas and Duryodhana heading the Kauravas. Their consciousness is shown. Actually, we all can learn so much in our everyday life from this. You see, Yudhishthira's consciousness, everything belongs to Lord. Whereas Duryodhana is thinking everything belongs to me. Yudhishthira is thinking Duryodhana is my brother, even though Duryodhana considers himself enemy of Pandavas and Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira is in a mood of sharing the kingdom and not fight like dogs. And Duryodhana is not in a mood of sharing, but he wants to become a singular king having monopoly over the whole world. This is something we revised before. Duryodhana sat at the head of the Lord, and then Arjuna sat near the feet of the Lord, and you all know this, last time you heard this. Again here, I have shown Arjuna versus Duryodhana, I have shown. If you see in the slide here, Arjuna considered Krishna his supreme Lord and friend, as Parabrahman, the purest. He had full conviction about that. Krishna is supreme divinity. His will surpass everybody else's will, ultimately. Without his will or sanction, not even a blade of grass can move. So that was Arjuna's full conviction. And he was not chasing after Lord's energies, but he wanted the friendship with the Lord. On the other hand, Duryodhana's values you can see. He is counting on the Narayana Sena. He is considering Krishna to be useless, not understanding the Lord's role in this world. Actually, even nowadays you can see the atheistic people. Not only they ignore God, they consider themselves the center of the pivot of the whole universe. They think everything is revolving around them. Everyone has to be at their beck and call. They consider themselves the most smartest and most intelligent. And they even consider anger to be a virtue. And they are very boastful. And they also ridicule the devotees or torment the devotees of God. There are even so-called atheistic leaders who are demolishing the temples. So you can find the atheistic propensities are there even today. It is not gone. These are Duryodhana tendencies. And they always make a plan how to increase their domain, increase their influence, become boss of all living beings. And in this way, when two demons in two different places start this kind of business of wanting to be the center, then there is a fight between the demons. That also is seen. And when the demons fight with one another, and they create more havoc for the world also. That is also seen in this world. In this case of Kurukshetra, all the demons gathered in one side, and Lord gathered all the pious and the virtuous ones on the other side. So it was a Dharma Yuddha. This I showed you last time also. Seva Bhav and Bhoga Bhav. That is service mentality and enjoying mentality. Hanuman represents service mentality, and Ravana represents enjoying mentality. Hanuman saw Raman Sita as like mother and father, whereas Ravana saw Mother Sita as an enjoyable object. He is carrying her away in his chariot. These are things we saw the previous sessions. Now we are proceeding further. This I covered in the last class, but we are not counting the last class because the last class got aborted in between because of the internet facility. So this 9 signs of victory, I will not dwell much today. I'll go a little fast. And then further part of session, we will go slowly. This I'll go pretty fast now. 9 signs of victory for the Pandavas. The first sign of victory was Krishna was personally present. Just Pandaputranam Yesham Pakshe Janardana, it is said, which means where Krishna is personally present, that side emerges victoriously. Because why? The reason is given here. Krishna as Rishikesh controls the senses of pure devotee. Rishik means senses. Ish means Lord. Rishikesh means Rishik Ish, Lord of the senses. What is the meaning of this? Lord, and meaning when we say Lord of the senses means, for example, all of you devotees, you have your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, your hands and legs. So how do you use these senses? If you see, so you will see that you are getting dictation from your mind. The mind goes by pleasures. Intelligence goes by reasoning. So if you go by instinctive pleasures, you will misuse the senses and you will suffer. And if you go by the reasoning of the intelligence, which is superior, it's a higher self, then you can use your senses in the proper manner. And that can be elevating rather than degrading. And that intelligence is guided and strengthened by Supersoul, who is Lord in the heart of every living being. By the side of the soul, there is also a Supersoul. So just like there's Arjuna, but there is also Krishna. So Krishna is guiding Arjuna. Similarly, you will be guided by Krishna in your life. That is the meaning of Rishikesh. Rishikesh means Lord will guide you how to use your senses when you learn this Bhagavad Gita. And then once you are guided by the Lord and you walk by the wisdom that you are gaining from Gita, then you will feel so pleasant in your life, so cheerful and so happy. Every part of your body, your senses, your mind, your intelligence will be cheerful. You'll be happy because you are walking the path that is received by guidance from the Lord himself. Therefore, he's called Rishik Ish, master of the senses. He is offering that guidance through the Gita. So devotees of the Lord are guided. Like Arjuna, he is not fighting battle, whimsically. He is fighting battle on the guidance of Krishna. Whereas Duryodhana, he is fighting the battle whimsically. He has forgotten the Lord and he is independent minded. That's the difference between the two. That is the first sign of victory. Second sign of victory, goddess of fortune. Like you see here, Lord Vishnu is lying in the snake bed, and his good wife, Lakshmi, she is the source of all wealth and the whole creation. She is called Lakshmi. In English, we call her name as goddess of fortune. There are Ashta Lakshmis. Ashta Lakshmi means 8 expansions of Lakshmi. There are different aspects of Lakshmi, have different type of prosperity. There is prosperity in terms of gold, silver, diamond. There is prosperity in terms of having children. There is prosperity in terms of having fame. Like that, different type of goddesses of fortune are there. But all of them are ultimately one goddess of fortune only expands like that. The point is, where there is Vishnu, there is also Lakshmi. Similarly, where there is Krishna, there is Lakshmi in his chest in the form of a golden hair. So Lord Krishna was present in the battle of Kurukshetra. So naturally, Lakshmi was also present automatically. And the third one, Kurukshetra is a holy place. Naturally, it will have a positive effect on those who are on the side of Dharma, which is Pandavas. Pandavas are on the side of Dharma. So naturally, that's the advantage for the Pandavas because they are walking the path of Dharma. And the fourth one, Hanumanji on Arjuna's flag. And Hanuman already has a record of helping Lord Rama in gaining victory over Ravana. And Arjuna considered Hanuman a previous Acharya because a previous warrior, Hanuman, is the devotee of the Lord. And Arjuna is also devotee of the Lord. So now Hanuman said, don't worry, I will come and sit on your flag and give out a war cry. In this way, Arjuna got support of Hanuman. And fourthly, the symbol of Vishnu is Shankh, conch shell. The picture you see, Dhruva Maharaj was touched by the conch shell by Lord Vishnu and empowered to speak very beautiful poetry. Similarly, Lord Krishna is blowing the conch shell and that by that divine sound, he is bringing forth victory. Then there are transcendental conch shells. Krishna and Arjuna conch shell mentioned as Divya Shankha, because Indra gave that Shankh and quiver for Arjuna. So that is a special gift, not an ordinary Shankh that Arjuna had. Both Shankh and the quiver given by Indra. Yeah. And then also Bhishma was a great warrior. He had always a soft corner for the Pandavas, and he knew that the Pandavas are walking on the right path of Dharma, guided by Krishna. Therefore, when Duryodhana was making crooked plans, Bhishma, in between, loudly sounded the conch shell to break the crooked talks of Duryodhana and to proclaim the victory of Krishna and Pandavas. Then one more, 8th one it is said here. Agnideva's chariot was given to Arjuna. So the chariot was Agnidev, and the Chitraratha, the chief of the Gandharvas, had given beautiful white horses to Arjuna. So you can imagine, you see, Indra gave him the inexhaustible quiver and the conch shell, and the chariot was given by Agnidev, and the white horses were given by Chitraratha Gandharva. Krishna himself is riding the chariot. Just see, these are all auspicious signs for Arjuna's victory. Also, it is said when Krishna and Pandavas blew the Shankh, it shattered the hearts of Kauravas, it is said. Whereas when Kauravas blew the conch shells, that did not shatter the heart of Pandavas. Therefore, Pandavas' victory is already being proclaimed. These are the 9 symptoms of victory. So, every one of you can also be empowered in your lives by Lord Krishna with many facilities to conquer Maya and attain Krishna's supreme spiritual abode. If you faithfully follow Krishna's teachings, like here you see, if you regularly associate with devotees, by reading the books like Bhagavad Gita, watching devotional movies about Krishna, and also like Mahabharata, Ramayana, and also hearing the devotional music like we were just singing in the beginning of the class today, like Hare Krishna mantra, keeping devotional friendships with Hare Krishna devotees. So similarly, A for association, B for Bhagavad Gita, C for chanting Hare Krishna, and D for taking prasadam diet. So these are ways by which you can also get empowered like Arjuna was empowered in your life. So these are the 9 symptoms all given in tabular form. Let's proceed to the second one today. Significance of the conch shells blowing. Now here Bhishma is blowing his conch shell very loudly. Tasya sanjanayan harsham kurvriddha pitamaha simhanadam vinadyochaihi shankam dadmau pratapavan. Thereafter everyone started blowing their conch shells, bugles, etc. very loudly. And Bhishma, I already told you this, that Bhishma could see the diplomatic game that Duryodhana was trying to play with everyone. So he interpreted the conversation between Duryodhana and Drona by blowing the conch shell loudly. At the same time, Duryodhana also didn't feel bad because he saw that the grandsire is very enthusiastic for the war. He is the senior most man and he has blown the conch shell and enthused all the warriors. So Duryodhana was also very happy. So, but Bhishma knew that the Lord Krishna is personally present and the Pandavas are pure-hearted followers of Dharma. They will win. But as his duty, he continued doing his duty. Tatas shankhaschcha bheryascha panavanaka gomukaha Sahasaivaabhyahanyanta sashabdastu bhavat. After that, the conch shells, drums, bugles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded, and the combined sound was tumultuous. So, why was this sound made? You may have a question, why this kind of bugles and drums are being beat and the sounds are being made? Warriors in those days, they were not scared of death. And it is said, and they would actually die fighting for virtue and attaining heavenly planets. So they, and also this is like war was fought in a sportive spirit in the olden times. Like it's a ritual to stimulate the mood of the event. Like when the warriors would come in the daytime, these are some specific symptoms of the Vedic war. You see, now in Ukraine we are hearing when Russia-Ukraine war, they are bringing the tankers into the city and attacking the housing colonies. Can you imagine how unfortunate it is? People are not able to come out of the housing colonies. They are shooting and people are going below the basement. And how long can they live in the basement? There is no food in the basement also after some time. When a man comes out to get some food, immediately he is shot. This is not war. This is not the way the war is supposed to be. Actually, when 2 countries, first of all, wage a war, there is a reason for the war. For example, if one country is leading a religious life and the neighborhood country says that, hey, you are not leading a proper godly life, God-centered life, you are leading a religious life, we are going to attack you and make you walk the right path. Otherwise, you are degrading your people with all kinds of bad habits. So, Then the neighborhood country may say that, sorry sir, we don't want to fight, we pay tax to you. Then there is no war at all. But if they don't agree to pay tax, then there is a war, and the war is done in the outskirts of the city, not in the city. And it's not done throughout, it is done in the daytime, and the night everybody rests. In the evening, after the war is over, the both side warriors deal with one another just like friends, just like a baseball game or a cricket match. Both troops may meet each other and have dinner together, or have a chat together. They are not enemies. They are just playing a game. So that is how the war was. And also there were war codes that one has to follow. If an enemy does not have a weapon, you should not use a weapon. Enemy is on the chariot, you can be on the chariot. If enemy is falling on the ground and crying, you should not attack. If enemy is running away, you cannot attack. If enemy is blind, you cannot attack. If enemy is a child, you cannot attack. So, one has to find out equal combat and only then fight the battle. There are a lot of rules like that. So, such rules are followed in the Vedic war. And this kind of rituals, why when these drums are played, just like in sports also there are music, you must have heard, isn't it? A certain type of music is played, a band is played, and trumpets are played. And so similarly, the war is also, it's a part of the ritual to play the conch shells and also to play the trumpets and play the drums and enthuse all the warriors for the chivalrous spirit. In fact, even if an enemy would send an arrow or tackle an arrow very expertly, the opposite party would cheer loudly and say, Jai! They would appreciate that. It's not that they appreciated only themselves. They were not just boasting about themselves. They appreciated even the enemies also many times for the expertise. So now Lord Krishna is entering into Bhagavad Gita for the first time here. See, this is how he wants to enter. He is such an amazing hero. He is a supreme Lord. He is called Bhagavan. Bhaga means the Lord of 6 opulences. He is the most beautiful, most intelligent, most strong, most famous, most wealthy, and most renounced. And most wealthy, why? Because Lakshmi, somebody is crorepati, or somebody has $1 million, somebody has $1 billion, somebody has $1 trillion, somebody has $1 zillion. But Krishna is actually the master of all wealth. Personified wealth is Lakshmi. He is the husband of Lakshmi. Similarly, his beauty is undiminishing beauty, oceanic beauty. Similarly, his fame also. 5,000 years ago, he spoke this Gita in 1 hour and went off, finished the battle, and then made the Pandavas the king. Now we see 5,000 years later, we find even now it is the wisdom of the Gita is so much appreciated all over the world by all classes of people. Great scholars like Henry David Thoreau and Emerson, they have appreciated the Gita. Great politicians, great leaders of the world. There are more than 800 versions of commentaries of the Gita. So you can see that his wisdom is so great, exalted, that the knowledge is exalted, his fame is exalted. But with all these things, he is renounced. It is said, why? Because he is driving the chariot of his own devotee. This is how he wants to be introduced in the Gita. Here, generally heroes, when they are introduced in a movie, generally they introduce small fellows first, and then the hero comes in a very stylish way, and everybody is eager to know who the hero is. Whereas here the hero wants to be seen as a servant of his devotees. So that is the nature of the Lord. Tata shvetair ghayair yukte mahati chandane stitau madava pandavaschaiva divyau shankhau pradadmatuhu. Lord Krishna blew. Now Krishna is going to blow his conch shell. Panchajanyam Hrishikesho Devadattam Dhananjayah Poundram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhimakarma Vrikodaraha Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha Nakulah Sahadevascha Sughoshamani Pushpakau Kasyascha Parameshwasaha Shikhandi cha Maharataha Drishtadyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitaha Drupado Drupadeyascha Sarvashaha Prithvipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahuhu Shankhan Dadmuh Pratak Pratak. Actually, I am continuously reciting the shloka because in Zoom it becomes difficult to repeat. But you all can recite along with me whenever I recite the shloka. So here, you see the different concepts are explained. See the right bottom corner of the slide here. Krishna played Panchajanya, Shank. Arjuna blew Devadatta. Bhima blew Poundra. And Yudhishthira, Anantavijaya. Nakula, Sughosha. Sahadeva, Mani Pushpaka. So in this way, their concepts are mentioned. So here, it is mentioned here. The Rishikesha word I have already explained to you before. How the Lord controls the senses of his devotee. Like you see the picture on the left top corner, that is the super soul, who is in the heart of all living beings. And he is the one who actually guides us by giving jnanam. He says, Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha, he says. I give knowledge, remembrance and forgetfulness. Like he is seated in the heart of everybody. So now for whom he gives remembrance and knowledge? For those who are sincerely seeking guidance. Oh Lord, like I was telling you last time, oh Lord, purify me, uplift me, accept me. I do not know, I am blind. Enlighten me. So if this is our prayer, then Lord is there to take us to the devotees and supply us the right type of wisdom and bring us back to his abode. And there are others who are not interested in the Lord. They say, hey, don't disturb me. Leave me to myself. I want to be independent. So they want to wander in this world and try to seek out enjoyment themselves. Then Lord gives them forgetfulness of himself. It's okay, you can forget me, and because without forgetting me, you can't do what you want. So you forget me and do. But he is so kind, even though they want to forget him, he gives them provisions, facilities for them, even after the living beings have turned away. See, which father in this world will provide money to the son, if the son is misusing the money. But like Krishna, you will find a super soul. He is providing abundant facilities even for atheistic people in this world. Even for atheists, he is supplying grains and vegetables and the supplies for them to survive, because he is thinking they will be atheistic fellows, but they are after all my children. That's what Lord is thinking. If I don't give them food, then who will provide? Let them talk ill of me, still I will provide them food. Because someday they will become reformed. Someday they will become purified. So Lord is very patient. Such is his compassion. So, and this is so for them he gives forgetfulness and lets them, do something wrong and then learn. Srila Prabhupada gave a nice example. He said once a boy wanted to put his finger in a running fan. Father said, no, my child, you will cut your finger. But the child was very insistent. The boy was crying, no, I want to put the finger. He wanted to have the fun of putting the finger in the running fan. So then the father switched off the fan and the fan started slowing down. As it was slowing down, the son, who was very adamant, wanted to put the finger. Father said, okay, do what you want. The boy put the finger. And when the fan blade hit his finger, he learned a lesson. And the boy understood, my Lord, even a slow fan can be so painfully hurting. Moving fan would have cut off my finger. He learned a good lesson. This is how the Super Soul gives opportunity for everybody to learn their own lesson and then come to good sense. after that. For that, he gives them forgetfulness. But those who want to remember him, he is willing to give remembrance. Like you all are coming for these classes and you are eager to learn and apply the things in your life. And so he's giving you the opportunity to learn and grow and elevate yourself and return back to the original spiritual plane. That's the meaning of Rishikesha. And yeah, here you say Krishna Arjuna's conscience is described as transcendental, victory is certain. Madhava means Krishna is husband of goddess of fortune. Other things I already told you. Yeah. So in the 15th chapter, 7th verse, Lord Krishna says, a very important verse. We will recite this verse together, okay? Mamai vamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanah manashashtani indriyani prakritistani karshati. Krishna is telling, my dear Arjun, all the living beings are mama eva amsho. They are all my parts and parcels only. Now, what is the meaning of a part and parcel? I have explained below here. See, first of all, here on the left top corner, you can see about the matter. Matter is also connected to Krishna, but it is called separated energy. Just like if you cut off the branch of a tree and bring it to your room, it will look green for only some time. After that, it will dry up. Similarly, the material world is energy of Krishna, but it is taken by the living entities for their own enjoyment. Therefore, in material world, everything rots. Morning you cook food and keep it, evening it rots. Morning a flower is blossoming, evening it dries up. One living being is born as a beautiful baby, then eventually one gets old and the body perishes and sent to the graveyard. You will see. Because matter is disconnected from the Lord. Yeah. So on the other hand, if you see below, everything is dependent on Krishna for existence and sustenance. Krishna is eternal Satchidananda. We are also eternal Satchidananda. But the matter is inferior and the soul is superior. And the living beings are minute, Krishna is infinite. Now, because the parts, when we say, it shows the dependence on the Supreme Lord. We are minute, so we are dependent on the Supreme. Just like sparks of the sun rays are dependent on the sun for their existence. Otherwise, the sparks of sun rays cannot exist without the sun. That is dependence parts. And parcel means everything is connected to Krishna. Like, if you are directly attracted to Krishna, that is the best. In spiritual world, everybody is attracted like that. And if you are not directly attracted to him, then you are attracted indirectly to Maya in the form of a woman or gold or land or possessions in this world, and one gets completely deviated from the goal of life. That is material energy of Krishna. So we have two possibilities. Nobody can say I am neither attracted to God nor to Maya. Nobody can say that. Everybody is attracted to one or to the other. Even the boys who don't like Krishna consciousness, they tease the devotees. They are attracted by Bollywood actresses. I have seen in my college days, when I go to the hostel room, there are many atheistic fellows who will tease the devotees. They will say, hey, you are running after Krishna, Krishna always. But you go to the room, you will find a big poster of some cinema actress, some woman, in whose feet they are a slave. So everybody becomes a slave of somebody in this world. So nobody can say, I am not servant of anybody. But who are these actors and actresses? They may have a very handsome body when they are young and healthy, but eventually when they grow old, they also become ugly. You will find when they become 70, 80, 90 and their bodies perish, it's no more appealing. So it's exactly like a glowworm in the night, can only shine in the dark of the night. When the sun rises, the glowworm has no value. Similarly, these opulences in the world, is strong Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali, they were strong at one time, and afterwards the strength goes away when they get old. Somebody is very beautiful and handsome in youth, and when they get older, the tooth fall away, hairs fall away, and then the beauty is gone. But God's beauty is unfading beauty, everlasting beauty, imperishable beauty, ultimate beauty, oceanic beauty. That is the meaning of God. So therefore, devotees of God who are attracted to him, they are the most blessed and most fortunate and most intelligent, because they are approaching that beauty which will never be taken away from them. Like when we attain Krishna, Krishna will never die, we will never die, and the relationship will never perish. It will be everlasting. So, in this way, let us proceed. Here you are saying the different meanings of the Krishna names are given here. Krishna means all attractive. Krish means to attract. Krishna means all attractive. And Rishikesha, master of senses, or owner of the senses of the devotees. And of course, he is one of the senses of all. Devotees know it, other fellows don't know it. What is the meaning of this? Like you all know, in a computer setup, there's a server room. Correct, no? In the server room, man has control over all the LAN network in the entire company. Correct, no? And other people, for them, he has given partial access. For some departments, he has given access only to their department computers. Each one has little access. Like similarly, Krishna is the ultimate server controller. He has access of all the senses of all the jivas. And he has given some access to Yamaraj, for example, superintendent of death. For him, he has given access to the sinful living entities. He has given. Like that, for different groups of living beings, he has given access. But he is the master of the senses of all living beings. The ultimate control is in Lord Krishna's hands. Yeah. And then Madhava means husband of goddess of wealth. Achyuta means infallible one. Madhusudana, killer of demon Madhu. Govinda, one who gives pleasure to the senses of cows. Vasudeva, son of Vasudeva. Devakinandan, son of Devaki. Yashodanandan, son of Yashoda. Parthasarathi, one who drives the chariot of his own friend Arjuna. Keshava, means killer of demon Keshi. Janardana. Janardana has two meanings. He is a maintainer of all living entities in general, and he is also a killer of demons also. And Dhananjaya, conqueror of wealth, this is for Arjuna. And Partha is son of Pritha. Kunti Devi's one name is Pritha, so son of Pritha becomes Partha. Just like son of daughter of Janaka becomes Janaki. Similarly, son of Pritha becomes Partha. And Gudakesha means Arjuna who has conquered sleep. And it is said that Arjuna would learn the art of archery in the daytime, and night he would practice. Therefore, he has conquered the sleep. Also, Arjuna who has conquered ignorance. And then Vrikodara means Bhima, voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks. So why we have put all this in one slide? Because these are the names used in this chapter for different personalities, and it is very valuable to know. By remembering these names, we remember the Lord's holy names, and it reminds us of his pastimes. That's the beauty of these names. Yeah. And then blowing became uproarious and shattered the hearts of sons of Dhritarashtra. Hridayani vyadarayat, it is said. Saghosho dhartarashtraanam hridayani vyadarayat nabhascha pratavem chaiva tumulo abhyanunadayam. So, see the second line, Hridayani vyadarayat. The Pandavas roaring conch shell blow shattered the heart of Kauravas. There is a reason for this. Duryodhana was under the notion that, these Pandavas, I had driven them away to the jungle for 12 years, plus one more year they had to be in incognito. Now these poor fellows, the situation must be pathetic. They may be bereft of opulences, bereft of support, and just 5 of them, what will they do? It should be a cakewalk for me. I can wipe them out very easily. Like that he was thinking, Duryodhana. But to his great surprise, he saw that Pandavas during the 12 years period, they had made allies with more than a dozen kingdoms. Because they had Bhima had got married to Hidimbi, Arjuna had got married to Ulupi, similarly Arjuna had got married to Subhadra, then they got the connection of Yadu dynasty. Similarly, Nakula, Sahadeva, Yudhishthir, Bhima, they all, through their marriages, they got many, many allies with many, many kings. And many righteous, pious kings were very happy to have allies with Pandavas. And now here the Pandavas had arrived with 7 Akshavinis. And Kauravas were having 11 and Pandavas were having 7. One Akshavani means it has fixed number of chariots, elephants, horses, foot soldiers. There is a measured number. It's a very big number. Like that, Pandavas had 7 and Kauravas had 11. Nevertheless, Duryodhana was taken by surprise that they also have 7. It's not a very small number. So therefore, he became a bit afraid also. Therefore, their hearts were shattered, it is mentioned. Yeah. Yeah. And because Pandavas have taken shelter of the Lord, they have nothing to fear. Yeah. Now, following the footsteps of previous acharyas, Arjuna and Bhima, they follow in the footsteps of Hanuman. Ata vyavastitan drishtva dhartarashtran kapidvajaha pravritte shastra sampate dhanurudyamya pandavaha rishikesham tada vakyam idamahamahi pathe. See the second line, I have highlighted one word here, kapidvajaha. So, Kapidvaja, Kapi means monkey or Vanara, the Hanumanji. In the picture you see, above the chariot you are seeing the flag here. In the flag you are able to see Hanuman. So Hanuman is seated in the chariot flag of Arjuna. And regarding that we will see the pastime now. You see here the pastime. You all know this, in the pastime of Setubandha, making a bridge for Rama to go to Lanka. Hanuman was taking part in that, isn't it? Now, later on, when Arjuna went to the same spot, he saw that he was making a casual statement that, about the bridge made by the monkeys. See, you are seeing one monkey also sitting there. Sorry. You see the monkey also sitting there. This monkey is actually Hanuman. So, Arjuna was making a point that, how did the monkeys make a bridge over which so many warriors could walk? Like that, Arjuna was making a comment. So then Hanuman was present here. And Hanuman said, yes, I can make that bridge. You can, the bridge can be so strong that with your bow and arrow, you won't be able to destroy it. Like that, he made a point. Arjuna said, really? Let us see how you make it. You make it and show me. So the Hanuman made that type of, bridge. Partly part of the bridge he made. So at that time, Hanuman was constantly chanting Rama's names. Due to which, when Arjuna tried to take his bow and arrow and collapse that what was made by Hanuman, he could not collapse. And he was surprised. Oh, this monkey seems to be more stronger than me. So he felt defeated. Then he said, please give me a second chance, opportunity again. So then one more chance was given. So this time, Hanuman was making that bridge very fastly, but Arjuna was chanting Lord's names in his mind constantly, praying to the Lord for empowerment and strength. This time he could break it. So then Hanuman revealed his real form. And then one Brahmana appeared there and met both of them and said, hey Arjun, hey Hanuman, you both are great devotees. Both of you are my pure devotees. You should not have a tussle with one another. And the Brahmana immediately revealed his form as, Rama and Krishna. So, and Hanuman fell at the feet of Rama and Arjuna fell at the feet of Krishna. And Lord said, You are supposed to work together for bringing success to the path of dharma. And that's how Hanuman and Arjuna became very thick friends. Of course, Hanuman is an ancestor to Arjuna. So Arjuna followed in footsteps of Hanuman, considering like a previous acharya. That's one pastime. There's another pastime here. Once when Draupadi saw one 1,000-petaled golden lotus floating in Mandakini Ganga. She picked up one lotus and she was charmed by that. And she made a comment, wow, if I can get a few of these beautiful lotuses, how great it will be. I don't think anybody can get this flower. It must be rare. It's coming from the celestial regions, from the Himalayas, she was telling. At the time, Bhima was around. He told Draupadi, Draupadi, don't worry, I'll get you many more of this. And then he took his mace and charging the mace, he went up the hill in Himalayas. And it was a place of Kubera, Alkapuri. So as he went up, on the way, under the tree, there was a monkey, old monkey, sleeping, relaxing in the tree with his tail spreaded in the road. So when Bhima went there, he told the monkey, hey, take off this tail. I don't cross anybody's body. Move away your tail, I have to go ahead. Monkey said, I'm too tired now. Can you please move it yourself? And then Bhima wanted to pick up the tail. The tail was like a rock. He just couldn't budge it 1 millimeter also. And I was wondering how it is so strong. Then he asked the monkey, reveal to me, who are you? Then the monkey smiled and said, I am Vayuputra, I am Hanuman. So Bhima also is Vayuputra. Then they both embraced one another. And then Hanuman taught him how not to be proud, but be humble. And Hanuman also said, Bhima, I will be happy to assist you in your battle. Although I cannot come and join the war, but I can stay in the flag, in the top, and I'll give out a war cry in the battle and give you confidence in the battle. That is the pastime of Bhima and Hanuman, which you see here. Yeah. So this is the story I said. This is even carving in one of the temples, Tirukurungudi sculpture. That is also mentioned here. This is the story I told you. So this is a very important part. Lord Krishna becoming subordinate to the love of his devotee Arjuna. Last part in this. Here you can see Arjuna is requesting infallible Lord to draw his chariot in the middle of the battlefield. He's telling now. See, there are people accepting religion on the platform of fear, because if you don't surrender to God, you'll have to go to hell and things like that. Then there are people begging God, oh God, please give me this, pass me the examination, please get me a job, get me promotion and things like that. Then there are people who simply out of duty and gratitude, they pray to God. But love is the ultimate platform. The loving service, like you see the fruit vendor lady giving fruits to Krishna out of love, or Sudama and Krishna friendship. This type of relationship with God based only on love and nothing else, that is the highest platform. We will discuss as the sessions proceed. Another time we'll discuss more on this. Arjuna uvacha senayorubhayormadhye ratham sthapayamechyuta yavadetan niriksheham yodukaman avastitan kairmaya saha yodhavyam asmin rana samudhyame. So here the word achyuta is used. If you see the word senayorubhayormadhye ratham sthapayame achyuta. Achyuta means infallible Lord. He never falls down from his position. See, somebody may be following state laws, but if he becomes a thief, he is called as a fallen citizen. Similarly, if somebody made a promise, they did not keep the promise, then they are fallen person, we call them. He fell from his promise. Whereas the Lord, when he makes a promise, he will never fail in his promise. You see here, he never fails in his affection for his devotees. When Arjuna wanted Krishna as a charioteer, Krishna happily accepted that role as a Parthasarathi. That doesn't mean his position is minimized. His position is never challenged. Sometimes you find in a home also, a father may become like a horse and put his son on his back, and he may give him a joy ride out of love. That doesn't make father inferior and son superior. Everybody knows father is in a superior position. But the father nevertheless does a service to the son out of love. Or sometimes the father and son have a fight, they take some stick and hit. And then finally the father collapses and then son sits on his belly and says, Father, I have conquered you. And everybody knows why the father allowed the son to conquer him. It's simply out of love. Like that, Krishna agrees to drive the chariot of his devotee out of love. Here Prabhupada writes here, below if you see, relationship between Lord and devotee is sweet and transcendental. A devotee is always eager to serve the Lord, and Lord obtains transcendental pleasure in receiving the orders of his pure devotees. Although he is always the infallible supreme master. He is always a master, but he likes to serve his devotees. Yeah. In the purport, Prabhupada writes here, one of you can read it, please.
The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee. He takes greater pleasure in his pure devotees, assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being the giver of orders. Since he is master, everyone is under his orders, and no one is above him to order him. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains the transcendental pleasure, although he is the infallible master in all circumstances.
Yeah, correct. So Lord is always infallible master in all circumstances. Still, he likes to take order from his devotees because he's in love with his devotees. Like here you see Krishna and Sudama. They are intimate friends. So when Sudama came to Krishna's palace later on as in Dwaraka, how Krishna served him, you know. Actually, this is not a new thing for all of you. You know, sometimes a man takes his wife and children to the, for eating out or something. And instead of he deciding what to eat, he asks his wife, you decide for all of us. What should we eat today or something like that. Or sometimes the parents leave it to the children out of love. Although he is in the role of a master of the family, out of love he submits his, mastership. In the same manner, Lord also does it with his pure devotees. Yeah. See, Raga means out of genuine attraction to the Lord, such devotees. The real platform of religion is where one worships God only out of love for him. In the picture you are seeing Yashoda Ma, the mother of Krishna, keeping Krishna on her lap, dealing with him in the mood of a mother for a child. Such a devotee does not consider God to be an order supplier. Rather, he offers everything he has to God out of unmotivated, uninterrupted love. The ultimate goal of any true religion is to achieve such pure love of God. You see, generally people think God is meant for supplying you your demands. That's a very cheap religion. Give me this, give me that. Whereas the ultimate religion is a devotee serves God with pure love, with no motivation. So here in the parental relation you find Yashoda. The Krishna Bhaktas desire nothing but loving devotion service to the Supreme Lord. They value the loving exchange and service opportunity for the Supreme Beloved Lord as a life and soul. Here is a fruit vendor lady. Seeing Krishna Lord's beauty, she gave away all the fruit she had without expecting nothing in return. But Lord glanced at her basket and filled it with gold and silver and diamond, even though she never anticipated it or expected it. So in this way, Lord and devotee are related sweetly. So eyes are way to illusion, ears are way to get rid of illusion. Why? When Arjuna saw the warriors on either side, he started weeping, considering that they're all my uncles and grandfathers and relationships and things like that. He started weeping. Whereas when he heard Bhagavad Gita with his ears, he became enlightened and he came out of illusion. So we will finish with this last note in 2 minutes. Arjuna wants to see. He's telling Krishna, take my chariot in between the army. Yotsamananaveksheham yayetetra samagataha dhartarashtrasya durbuddher yuddhe priyachakirshavah. See the third line, durbuddhe. Dhartarashtrasya means the sons of Dhritarashtra have a durbuddhi. What is durbuddhi? They are greedy for the land which they don't own. They want to usurp the land of the Pandavas, of the kingdom of the whole world. Although they are undeserving, that's a durbuddhi. They want to destroy others and destroy themselves. Yeah. So, when Lord Krishna drew the chariot between the two armies, Sanjay uvacha eva mukto hrishikesho gudakeshena bharata sena yorubayor madhye stapayit paratottamam. Here Gudakesha word is used for Arjuna, who has conquered sleep, and he is also conquering ignorance because of his friendship with Krishna. Yeah. So, Lord is telling Arjuna, behold the Kurus. This is what you wanted to see. So, now Arjuna is seeing both the armies. Yeah. So, as a friend, Krishna wanted to inform Arjuna that the mind of Arjuna was thus predicted by the Lord in friendly joking. This is what you want to see? See yourself now. He is saying like that. So, Lord is placing the chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona. Now, Arjuna is watching. Yeah. So, at that time, Krishna will reveal the weakness of heart of Arjuna so that he can speak the Bhagavad Gita. Bhishma Drona Pramukataha Sarvesham Chamahikshidam Uvacha Partha Paschaitan Samavetan Kuruniti. So, this I already told you just now. Because of seeing with the eyes is subject to illusion. But we all have to use our ears to hear the wisdom of the Lord. Then we will come out of illusion. Don't see the world with your eyes. See the world through the wisdom of Gita that you have learnt. Then you can safely move in the world without getting submerged in the world. Hear the scriptural conclusions, who God is and who God is not, and then you accept. Otherwise, with the eyes, we will be subject to illusion. Yeah. Because if you look at the moving fan, it appears it has no wings at all. When the fan stops, then you can see the wings, isn't it? But only when you cannot see something properly, you have to understand it by hearing about it. So he is seeing all relatives assembled on both sides. So now he is going to break down Arjuna in the series of verses. Who all he saw, it is said, Acharyan, Matulan, Bratran, Putran, Pautran, Sakim Stata, Shasuran, Surdaseva. These are all different relationships are mentioned here. See, the Bhurishrava, like if you see Bhishma and Somadata, who is Somadata? Bhishma had an elder brother who is called Somadata. And Somadata's son is, here I have written here, if you see, Bhishma's elder brother is, Bhishma's elder brother, correct. Elder brother of Shantanu. Actually, elder brother of Shantanu, here the Pitamaha normally refers to Bhishma, but here it also refers to Bhalika. He was elder brother of Shantanu, and his son is Somadatta, and his son is Bhurishrava. Bhalika was even older than Bhishma also. Bhalika was ruling Afghanistan, while Shantanu was ruling Indian province. That means he is like a father of Bhishma, his brother. Okay, you can imagine. So 3-4 generations were in the battlefield. Surya means the friends. Sakim means the contemporaries, like Ashwatthama, Jayadratha and all. Tan samikshasa kaunteya sarvan bandhu navastitan kripaya paravaya vishto vishidan nidam abravit. Now, he is overwhelmed with great compassion. He is weeping now. He is feeling compassion for the atatai, or the perpetrators of sin. This is the contrast between Duryodhana and Arjuna. Although they are sinners, terrible fellows, still he feels compassion for them. So here in this chapter, the Sainya Niriksha Yoga is over. And I wanted to complete with this today. And then we will be starting with Arjuna's reasons in the next session when we meet next week. Putting principle before penny, we will do that next week. So sorry I delayed you all by 5 minutes. Today I wanted to make sure that this session will be completed. So anybody wishes to ask any question, you can write to Jayakrishna. How do they write? They know the Google link?
Yes, Prabhuji. They have this form and they will be getting those. We will be getting those all through Google Sheet.
Okay, you are putting it in the chat or something?
Yes, Prabhuji. We are sharing it on a WhatsApp group.
Okay. Today's session was a bit exhaustive session, but Sunit is asking for access to the PPT slides. Definitely,
Sure.
I will make the slides available to Jaya Krishna. Shivaji Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Make the slides as well as the lecture accessible to all the audience through Jaya Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You make it available for them. As soon as the session is over, they should get both the video as well as the slides. Both they should get.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Because generally, when students attend a session, some of the students are enthusiastic to revise it and go through it.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And on the same day, if they get, then they will find it more interesting than getting it after 1 week and all.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So, Ogun, are you in New York? I am currently in Brooklyn.
Peace and love. No, I am not in New York. I am in Maryland, which is just a couple hours away, which is just like 3-4 hours away. And I'm going to see you next weekend in Baltimore for sure. I'm going to be in Baltimore.
Okay.
I'm coming to the boot camp for sure. So I'm looking forward to see you. And I can't come down to New York to visit this week too, but I know for sure I'm going to be in Baltimore.
Okay. Also, Jaya Krishna, do you have my link of my travel in US?
Yes, Prabhu.
If you put it, Sunit is in Michigan. Okay, Sterling Heights. Okay. All right. And Kevin is in New York only. Kevin?
Yes, sir. Welcome to New York.
Thank
Stay
you.
warm.
So, Jaya Krishna, if you put the link of my this thing, travel to different places, the schedule, then any of them wish to come and meet me, they're most welcome. You have it with you, Jaya Krishna?
Yes, Prabhu. I'm just fetching it. I'll just share it in the chat. Right.
I can share in the chat. It will be nice if you do that. So thank you all very much. We will meet again next week. And actually, this time I'm not going to Michigan, but there is a possibility next time. There was a call from Michigan also. I'm not able to visit this time, but I'll keep in mind. Thank you. But Sunit, you are always welcome to any of the other places which will be nearby. If you see the travel plan, you can figure out from that. Okay? Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna.